What's going on, gamers? It's your boy Launchpad 1412. Excited to bring you some more Madden 13 gameplay. Got an online ranked match here against a random opponent. Opponent has Cam Newton, Killer Cam in the Panthers. I got the Buffalo Bills. I hit the L2 button and the Buffalo Bills came up again, but I've actually been doing pretty good with them. Let's see if I can continue that goodness in this game. But I'm actually not going to talk about the gameplay. Excuse me right there. I'm actually not going to talk about the gameplay. I'm actually going to talk about failing in high school. A little story here, so to speak. I don't know what you want to call it, but you know, it's something I felt like talking about, and I think it's something that people will be interested in here. Give you guys a little skipping on how things was when I was coming up a little bit as far as me getting grades in school. When I was coming up, I took grades very seriously. Of course, as God and family, and then I love basketball. Y'all know basketball is my absolute passion. I love basketball, you know, very, very much. But I took my grades very seriously. I'm talking about from first grade all the way to college, man. I took my grades very seriously. I cannot stress that enough. And in my house, my parents took grades very seriously. My aunt, my uncle, my grandma, and my mom, they did not play. It was a big deal. Being though they made it such a big deal, it was even more emphasis on me trying my best to get good grades. I did not want to fail ever, man. Not just at grades, at anything. But of course, you know, you fail sometimes in life. Coming up, when I was in middle school, about 6th, 7th grade, I believe it was 7th grade, I was actually one of the top 7 students. I actually got invited to go to New York, which was a nice treat. You know, it was me and other 6 top kids in my grade school, you know, at that time, and it was an honor to go there. I remember my aunt had gave me some souvenir money, and I came back with I forget what you call that thing, where you got to kind of like, oh yeah, Rubik's Cube. Yeah, I came back with a Rubik's Cube, and she was like, "Why did you get that?" That was just so me, man. I didn't come back with a shirt or something resembling that I was actually in New York. I come back with this crazy Rubik's Cube. And my aunt, and she didn't say why did I get that, but she kind of had that look like you know, Keith. That's my real name. She said, "Keith, that's what you got," you know, when you went there. But yeah, you know, that was me. But yeah, it was an honor to do that. You know, I was on the honor roll, of course, and you know, I wanted to continue that. But in 8th grade, I slipped up a little bit. I had actually failed. Got my first F in the first semester. I can't believe it was 1 or 2. I believe it was just 1, but it might have been 2. I kind of don't remember. It's a little hard to remember, but I can remember that moment clearly though when I failed. Like when I failed, I was living with my mom, and I wasn't living with my aunt anymore. My aunt, my grandma, and my uncle. Like I didn't even want to call them. I didn't even want to contact them or nothing. Like I didn't really want to talk to everybody. The day I got my report card and I had to bring it back home to my mom, I was living with my cousins then too. Cousins around my age and my older cousins. And you know, when everybody is not expecting you to fail, it can be very embarrassing and to come home with that. But for me, it was not only embarrassing, but it was like self-demoralizing because I just didn't want to fail. You know, it was everything else that, like, if I didn't do anything else right, it was okay. But getting a bad grade, it was really not my cup of tea, man. It really was not. I really did not like getting bad grades. So I can remember the walk home, because we had to walk home from school when I was in 8th grade. And the walk home was probably the longest walk I ever took in my life. And it just wasn't good. Tears coming out my eyes. And I come in the house, I remember I sat down in my mom's, and I actually went to my mom's room and sat down in my mom's chair right next to her bed. And my older cousin, who's like 9 years older than me at the time, of course she's letting me have it. You know what she's supposed to do? She's big cuz, you know. Shout out to my cousin Regina. She's letting me have it, you know. And I needed to hear it, because you know I did. It was one time that I failed, but I did fail, and I know that I could do better than that. But I was beating myself up so much mentally. She could see it, and she just stopped lecturing me. It was that bad. Like, she really stopped lecturing me. She looked at me and she was like, "It's gonna be okay." You know, everybody slips up sometimes. It's not that. Like, she went from getting on me and lecturing me about failing to telling me that. Like, it was that self-demoralizing for me. My mom didn't even have to punish me. She didn't even have to punish me. Like, I was punishing myself. It was just, it was the more like my mom. She I think she told me this not go outside that day. I think that was what she told me. But besides that, she already knew what it was, and I was just one of those kids that didn't like it. Like there was no punishment my mom could give me that would have been worse than the punishment I was giving myself. But of course, it's like I always do. My competitive nature, so to speak, and just wanting to work harder. When something like that happens to someone like me, it makes them work harder, and I end up working harder, and I end up getting back on the honor roll. I end up doing good, and I can remember this one time in high school, I was getting ready to graduate, right, and my last, I will never forget this. My last report card going from college to high school said I had a 70. I think it was a 76 average overall because I had a 0 in ROTC. If you don't know what ROTC is, it's like a junior military thing where they teach you how to flip rifles and do the basic stuff in the military. And I looked at this, I was like, "What is this?" I had to look like, "Oh no!" I got out of class and I ran straight to my guidance counselor. I'm talking about I'm running Sonic speed, full speed ahead, right to the guidance counselor. And she was like, "What's wrong, Keith?" And she looked at me. She had that worried look because I was like that serious look. I told her, "Look at this," and she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I told you I was gonna fix that for you because I didn't do ROTC my last year because I just didn't want to. It wasn't really much for me to do. I'd have aced it anyway because all I had to do was really kind of monitor the freshmen a little bit. But I think I took a gym class instead or something like that. but yeah, that's pretty much that's my story on that, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that. But the moral of the story, no matter what happens, no matter how many times you fall down, don't forget to try to always pick yourself back up, man. It's not how you fall, it's how you recover. That's the moral of the story that I wanted to present to you guys today. I know a lot of y'all are in grade school and stuff. And hopefully you guys like it, man. Shout out to my opponent. Shout out to my subscribers. You guys are the greatest subscribers on the planet. This is your boy, Launchpad 1412, and I'm out.